The alarms inside the Galactic Council Hall echoed like distant thunder. Every species felt the tension in the air, but one detail was clear. No one wanted this mission. Not a single fleet stepped forward. Not a single captain raised their hand. The mission was marked in red on every screen. High risk, zero return, possible extinction. Yet, as the council argued, whispered, and pointed fingers, Earth's representative, Commander Raylan Ward, sat silently. He didn't speak. He didn't protest. He just watched the fear spreading across the alien leaders. To them, this was a suicide mission. To him, it was something different, a chance to save lives. At the edge of the galaxy, an entire colony was trapped inside a collapsing star system. Energy storms raged like burning oceans. Communication signals were fading. No one knew how many survivors were left. Most believed they were already dead. The council announced their final decision. Any fleet attempting rescue will not return. This mission is forbidden. The moment those words hit the air, Raylan stood up. The hall fell silent. Alien eyes widened. Everyone expected Earth to follow the order like all other species. But Raylan spoke calmly, his voice steady. We don't abandon people. Not humans. Not anyone. A ripple of shock ran through the chamber. Some called him reckless. Others whispered, Death World or madness. A few even laughed. Raylan didn't care. Back on Earth's flagship, the crew was already preparing. Engines hummed. Shields activated. Every member knew the risk, and still they volunteered. As the massive warship rose into the void, Raylan gave only one command. We are not going to die today. We are going to rescue them. No one knew what waited beyond the collapsing stars. But humanity moved forward anyway. Humanity's flagship, Horizon Spear, entered the collapsing star system like a single spark flying into a burning furnace. Around them, space twisted in violent waves. Blue lightning tore across the void. Fragments of broken planets drifted like giant knives. Every sensor screamed warnings. Yet Captain Raylan stood calm on the command deck. Hold course, he said. No one argued. They trusted him. Even here, in a place where no other species dared to come. The crew watched the main screen as the dying star pulsed dangerously. It looked like a giant heart beating its last breaths. Every pulse sent deadly radiation sweeping through the system. One wrong move, and the ship would be shredded. Aliens in the Galactic Council had called it suicide, but humans saw only a path. A hard path, but still a path. Deep inside the system, a faint signal blinked on the radar. Lieutenant Arya leaned forward. So it's them, the colony. The signal is weak, but it's real. A wave of relief crossed the crew. They weren't too late. Not yet. But the good news ended quickly. A violent shockwave slammed into the ship. The lights flickered. Panels sparked. A metallic scream tore through the hull. Shields at 60%. Arya shouted. Another shockwave followed. Stronger. The Horizon Spear shook like it would break in half. The collapsing star was becoming unstable even faster than predicted. Raylan gripped the command rail. Push through, he ordered. The survivors don't have long. The crew obeyed, but fear tightened every breath. Outside, storms of fire twisted like living monsters. Space itself felt angry, wild, ready to swallow them. Then the radar lit up again, this time with dozens of blips. Sir, Arya whispered, that's not the colony. Raylan's eyes narrowed. Something else was waiting inside the storm. Something the Council never warned about. The radar pulses grew stronger, spreading across the screen like crawling shadows. Dozens, then hundreds of unknown signatures surrounded the Horizon Spear. None matched any Galactic Council database. None belonged to the colony. Lieutenant Arya's voice trembled. Sir, these are ships, but not human and not any Council species. The crew exchanged nervous looks. In the middle of a dying star system, new ships appearing out of nowhere was impossible, unless something else was hiding here long before the colony collapsed. Raylan kept his eyes on the screen, put them on visuals. Static filled the monitor for a moment, then the shadows sharpened. The unknown craft were jagged, bone-like structures drifting through the storm. No lights, no signals, no heat signatures. They moved slowly, almost like predators studying prey. A chill ran through the bridge. Engineer Malik whispered, "Those look dead." But the moment he said it, one of the vessels shifted. It turned directly toward the horizon spear, its hull glowing faintly with sickly white energy. More of them awakened. One by one, the shadow ships activated like creatures rising from a long sleep. Aria's hand flew to her mouth. "Sir, they're powering weapons. Multiple vessels locking onto us." Raylan gave his orders instantly. "Evasive maneuvers. Bring shields to maximum. Arm plasma batteries." The horizon spear lurched as the engines roared, pushing the ship away from the ambush. But the bone-like vessels moved with an unnatural grace, riding the violent storm as if it were their home. The first energy bolt sliced past the hull, a silent flash of white fire. The second bolt struck the shields, shaking the ship violently, shield integrity dropping fast. Malik shouted. Raylan's jaw tightened. These weren't random machines. They weren't lost relics. They were guardians of something hidden, something the colony accidentally discovered. And now they were awake. Raylan knew the truth in that moment. The Council didn't call it a suicide mission because of the dying star. They called it suicide because something else lived inside this cyst. The horizon spear dove between collapsing waves of burning plasma as the bone-like alien vessels chased them with silent determination. Each blast of white energy shook the ship harder than the last. Sparks flew across the bridge. The crew held on as the storm twisted space around them. Captain Raylan steadied himself. "We can't outrun them inside the storm. We need answers. Scan the system again, everything." Aria's hands flew across the controls. The sensor struggled against interference, but then something unexpected appeared. A structure, massive, ancient, hidden behind the drifting remains a shattered moon. "Sir," she whispered, eyes wide, "there's construct down there. Not natural. Older than anything we know." The screen displayed a dark, circular megastructure buried deep in the storm. It pulsed faintly, like a sleeping heart connected to the dying star. Raylan understood immediately. The colony, they must have found this. That explained everything. The Council's fear, the forbidden warnings, the sudden collapse of the system. The star didn't die on its own. Something inside the structure was draining it, and the bone-like ships, they were its protectors. Another violent strike hit the horizon spear. The deck jolted. Malik yelled over the alarms. "Shields almost gone. We can take another hit." Raylan didn't hesitate. "Turn us toward the colony signal. Full speed." "But sir, those ships..." "That's an order." The horizon spear surged forward, cutting through firestorms and twisted gravity. The shadow ships swarmed behind like a pack of silent predators. Then Aria's voice came again, filled with urgency. "Captain, new signal detected, close to the colony." Raylan narrowed his eyes. "What kind of signal?" Arya looked shocked. "It's a distress beacon, but not just from the colony." She swallowed hard. "It's human military code. Someone is still fighting down there." The crew froze. Someone from Earth had survived and was calling them into the heart of the storm. The horizon spear broke through a burning cloud of plasma, and suddenly the view cleared. Below them lay the shattered colony world, its surface torn open like cracked stone, glowing rivers of molten energy running through its scars. And in the middle of that chaos, a single human outpost still stood, but not untouched. Explosions burst around it. Defensive turrets fired desperately into the sky, and circling above like vultures were the bone-like alien ships, striking relentlessly. Arya gasped. "They're still fighting after all this time?" Raylan felt a heavy pull in his chest. Whoever had survived had done so against impossible odds. "Open a channel," he ordered. Static. Then a voice, weak, strained, but unmistakably human. "This is Lieutenant Mara Hale, Earth Expeditionary Corps. If anyone hears this..." A blast cut her transmission short. Another voice, shaky but alive, replaced hers. "We won't hold much longer. Whoever you are, please, we need help." Raylan didn't wait. All hands, prepare for combat support. Bring us between the outpost and the hostile fleet. The crew moved with renewed fire. Fear was gone. Purpose replaced it. This wasn't just a rescue mission anymore. It was saving their own. The Horizon spear descended through the storm. White energy blasts shot toward the outpost, but Raylan's ship intercepted them, shields glowing painfully as they blocked the hits. Then the human defenders saw the flagship. For the first time in months, hope lit their voices. "Earth you came," Mara whispered over the line, disbelief and relief mixing into one. But the celebration ended quickly. Dozens of Guardian vessels rose from a megastructure below, larger, stronger, glowing like awakened giants. Malik stared at the readings, horrified. "Captain, those aren't scouts. Those are war forms." Raylan clenched his jaw. The real battle hadn't begun. The storm wasn't the enemy. These ancient Guardians were preparing to erase everything. Colony, survivors, and the Horizon Spear. And Earth had only minutes to stop them. The sky above the dying world turned white as the war forms rose from the ancient megastructure. Each one was larger than the Horizon Spear, their bone-like armor glowing with cold, merciless light. They moved with the slow confidence of something that had won countless battles long before humanity existed. On the bridge, every alarm flashed red. "Captain, if they fire together, we won't survive," Malik warned. Raylan didn't flinch. "We didn't come here to survive. We came here to save them." He opened the ship-wide channel. "All crew, prepare final maneuver. This ends now." The crew stood ready, fear replaced by determination. Across the storm-torn sky, the forgotten survivors watched from the damaged outpost, their hope now tied to a single human warship. The war forms charged their weapons, white energy gathering like a miniature star in each hull. Arya whispered, "Sir, they're aiming at the outpost." Raylan's reply was simple, "Not while we are here." He executed the command he had prepared from the moment they found the megastructure. "Activate Tempest Drive. Full burst." Malik's eyes widened. "Sir, that close to the star? It will tear space open." Raylan met his gaze. "Exactly." The Horizon Spear surged upward, engines burning hotter than ever before. The drive overloaded, bending the storm around the ship. Space rippled, cracking like glass. A shockwave erupted, bright, deafening, unstoppable. The war forms were thrown back, ripped apart by the violent distortion. Their glowing energy cores shattered like broken bones. The ancient Guardians fell one by one, swallowed by the collapsing storm. The Horizon Spear barely survived, drifting with failing power, but alive. On the outpost below, cheers filled the comms. "You saved us, all of us," Mara whispered. Raylan exhaled slowly. "No, humanity did." As rescue shuttles deployed, the dying star began collapsing fully. The last human ships escaped just as the system folded on itself. The Galactic Council later called it madness. Humanity called it duty. And history remembered it as the day humans turned a suicide mission into the greatest rescue the galaxy had ever seen.